And another one gone, and another one gone, and another Brian bites the dust. Oh, hey, they're gonna get you too. Another Brian bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone, and Schottenheimer, they're coming for you. Another Brian bites the dust. Oh, hey, they're gonna get you too. Another Brian bites the dust. Sorry, Brians. Sorry, Brian. Sorry. It was either that or a Monty Python Life of Brian joke. I went with Queen. Thanks for jumping into a breaking news segment here on That's Good Sports. The New York Football Giants have fired head coach Brian Daboll. He will no longer be storming into the blue tent to tell Jaxson Dart's doctor to rub some dirt on his concussion and put him back in the game because Brian's trying to save his football job. Look at this, Adam. Hello, Adam. This changes nothing. Well, I mean, it changes who your head coach is, you fucking idiot. Changes a lot, Adam, when you think about it. When you think about it, it really changes a lot. I hear what you're saying, though, Adam, because it does not appear that Brian Daboll was the only problem right now. But I think if you're looking at the Giants, they're in this weird situation where this season, things started to look hopeful, look optimistic with Jaxson Dart, with Cam Scatterbo, two guys they drafted who are playing well. You got Abdul Carter developing. Then there's injuries to Malik Neighbors, to Scatterbo. Jaxson Dart suffers a concussion last week. He'll return and play. But all that optimism wiped away. And I thought Brian Daboll his job was a little bit safer because of the way Jaxson Dart was playing. But John Mara decided to fire Daboll while keeping general manager Joe Schoen. Now, they both came in at the same time. Schoen was the one who decided to, let Saquon Barkley go. Daniel Jones is gone, and that was the right move, but Daniel Jones is playing better now. We forget Brian Daboll he won head coach of the year after the job he did with Daniel Jones. But I think Daniel Jones playing really well in Indianapolis made a case against Brian Daboll, fair or unfair. There's a whole bunch to discuss here. I think to make a case for Joe Schoen, I think as a Giants fan, you like this last draft. You don't necessarily like all of their drafts that have happened with him there. But hold on, let me look at one thing here. I got one down here somewhere. I liked a whole bunch of tweets for shit. Here it is. Here are the two. Okay, Daniel Jones 8-2, Giants 2-8. Sam Darnold 7-2, Jets 2-7. Mike Vrabel 8-2, Titans 1-8. Maybe the wrong guy got blamed, and that's the tricky part when we're getting rid of head coaches, cleaning house, right? We better, if you're an NFL owner, you better fucking make sure you have identified the true problem. That said, I'm not sure Brian Daboll is a good head coach. Obviously, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that. But this feels like probably the right move, but that entirely depends on who the Giants bring in to replace him. And we'll talk a little bit about maybe some of those options for the Giants this season. And I think the interim coach, Mike Kafka, is going to get an actual evaluation to be a candidate for the next head coach. And if you look at the Titans, right, they've got Mike McCoy there. He's not being seriously evaluated to be their next head coach. And I say it every time a coach gets fired. The only reason it really makes sense is if that coach is like Urban Meyer and they are just a disaster to the team, a disaster to the locker room. And in order to just save your locker room and team, you've got to get rid of that coach. But the only other reason you make a move in season is to possibly evaluate somebody you have on staff. And I think Kafka's going to actually get a chance to do that. You know, he spent time in Kansas City, worked his way up, was eventually the quarterback's coach, the passing game coordinator, and all that stuff. So I think at least there you've got a guy who maybe can come in and get even better play out of Jaxson Dart, and Jaxson Dart's been playing well. But I think the real reason that Daboll is gone today is because Jaxson Dart suffered another concussion. And his concussion is something that is, I think, an exclamation point on every single week of the injuries that are happening to Jaxson Dart, right? And it feels like Brian Daboll maybe putting Dart in a bad position, a position to get injured to save his job. And I think that's why Daboll is gone today. That John Mara said, look, I've got another guy who maybe can get better play out of Dart, and maybe Brian Daboll is putting my quarterback in harm's way because he knows the only way to save his ass is for this team to win. And at this point, he deemed it, not worth it. Sorry, I'm seeing a whole bunch of stuff about Alex Singleton here. No, I did not see the news about Alex Singleton. Let me look. Alex Singleton. Okay. Grateful for everyone's support. He went under. Alex Singleton, Broncos linebacker, underwent successful surgery on Friday for testicular cancer after being diagnosed last week. Holy shit. Thankfully, we believe the cancer was caught early with a great prognosis for me and my family. While we are still awaiting some additional test results, I fully expect to return to the field in the coming weeks. Okay, yeah. That's scary. And hopefully they got it all and caught it early, like Singleton is saying. We fucking love Singleton. We're giving him some shit this year because of, how he's played in coverage and all that meaningless bullshit. But I think Broncos fans love Alex Singleton. He earned his contract he got a couple years ago because he was a man who did everything on the field. So let's hope that they got it all and wish Alex Singleton a healthy prognosis moving forward, because that is obviously very scary. Sorry, I was reading some of that. I was trying to talk about Daboll, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? It was distracting me. But Alex, we will be rooting for you. We will be, hopefully, everybody showing him some love and support out there. If the NFL is as unpredictable as you and Tom keep saying, then how come New York hasn't? No, okay, that's not unpredictable in New York. You're right, David. The Giants and the Jets losing a lot of football. I think I liked the tweet about the... Oh, yeah. Question. Bills fans, do you want Daboll back now? Do Buffalo Bills fans want Brian Daboll back in the building as an assistant OC or offensive consultant? Would you want that, Buffalo? That's an honest question I have. Here it is. The Giants, since 2015, 59, 114-1. The Jets, 58, 115-1. So, yeah, that sucks. Cycling through head coaches, cycling through quarterbacks. You can't get any of them to work for you. I feel for the football fans of New York. Giants aren't going to screw up the hire like Giants aren't going to screw up and hire someone like Chip Kelly as head coach, right? Right? Right. I don't think Chip Kelly's getting any looks right now. Will the Giants screw this up? I don't know. The good news, if you're a Giants fan, all right, give Kafka a chance to see if he might be the guy. But the way that Jaxson Dart has played, that makes the Giants head coaching job very, very attractive. You've got Jaxson Dart. You've got a pretty solid defense. You've got Cam Scadaboo, who will be back from his knee injury. And at some point, you're going to get Malik Neighbors back. So there are a lot of pieces for a head coach to go, you know what? A potential head coach. That's the job I want to take. And I think at this point, you've got the Titans job, which is Cam Ward's appealing. Don't get me wrong. I really like Cam Ward, but that job, that situation, that team, not really attractive outside of Cam Ward. The Giants, way more attractive. It feels like the Giants would be a lot closer to being competitive. And that's what you want as a head coach. So that is something that can help, lure the right candidate for the Giants. Does it mean they'll do it? No. They are the Giants. Bad coach or rigging games? You decide. Well, yeah, that's the thing about the Giants, right? They've lost all these games in the fourth quarter. There they are. 14 seconds left against the Cowboys. Up 3, lose the game. Saints beat them. The Broncos score 33 points in the fourth quarter. And of course, this week, Caleb Williams and the Bears beat the Giants. Caleb Williams got another head coach fired. You can look at it that way. Russell Wilson got another head coach fired. Who do you blame? Do you blame Russell Wilson or do you blame Caleb Williams? It means the Packers will lose Sunday. Interesting. I did also notice one more thing here. Let's see. Let me find something. Where did I put it? Dang it. Hold on. I got an image. It's really important. Oh, wait. I selected the wrong thing. Don't worry. I'm going to find this for you. And you're going to be like, that was not worth the wait, Brandon. Why'd you make us do it? Speaking of Russell Wilson, in terms of getting head coaches fired, guys, I think Russell Wilson has a type. I think Russell Wilson has a type in terms of the head coaches he likes to get fired. What do they have in common? Are they brothers? Are those two men brothers? $50 super chat. My Bears broke the Giants. It's a good day. Why, thank you, Bob Ross.
Imika and Big Boo, Imika and Big Boo, Imika and Big Boo, Imika and Big Boo, Imika and Big Boo.
Mills 3-1 against T-Law. Mills, best quarterback from the 2021 draft. Boom. Got him. Brian Daboll home. Preferably Fat Daboll for nostalgia. Our wings are waiting to assist in this. There was magic between him and Josh Allen. Okay, so Bills fans, you do want Brian Daboll back. All right. Confirmed. Bills fans want Brian Daboll back. Yeah, they've blown 4 double-digit leads in 4 road losses. And Jaxson Dart, evaluated for 4 concussions. He's only gotten 1 this season, but I think that's part of the problem there. You look at the injury to Neighbors and to Cam Scadaboo. Those are that's an ACL. Like, Daboll has no control over that. He's not like coaching Malik Neighbors to go up for a pass and purposely land awkward on his knee. Same for Cam Scadaboo. But I think the way he was allowing Jaxson Dart to play a little bit recklessly, that you can make an argument for. The other ones, I don't think those are relevant. John Gruden? Giants fans, I don't think you want John Gruden. I don't think John Gruden would be a good head coach for the Giants, and I think Gruden would love Jaxson Dart. I think Gruden would get along with Jaxson Dart, but that does not seem like a smart move. Dabs will be the Eagles' OC next year. He loves Hurts. Does he love Jalen Hurts? Oh, yeah, I'll take the job. I'll take the job. But yeah, let's talk about who the next head coach possibly could be for the Giants. Right after I remind you, today's episode, live stream, breaking news segment was sponsored by Prize Picks and my code TGS when you play Daily Fantasy at Prize Picks. These are my plays for tonight. Monday Night Football. I think Josh Jacobs can get 50 yards. I don't like Jordan Love having a ton of passing yards against that Eagles defense. So I went less than 233, and I doubled down on Jalen Hurts for a rushing touchdown. I think, hey, who wanted to get the tush-push banned? The Packers. Feels like a tush-push into the end zone type of night for Jalen Hurts. And this has the little demon goblin. That means this one a little bit tougher. A rushing. Oh, wait, is that? I picked him to have a rush, or at least one rushing and I don't even know what I played. Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry. This is the passing touchdown. I can't read. Prize Picks. Supporting my illiteracy since 2025. Passing touchdown for Hurts, and then I think he gets the tush-push. The tush-push touchdown here. Fuck, I'm so dumb. Oh, God, Prize Picks is going to fire me for sure. Anyway, if you're going to play, use my code TGS at Prize Picks. Link in the description. You can follow me there. We almost have 10,000 followers on Prize Picks. That is not the signups. That's different. A lot of people already playing Prize Picks signed up. They're following me now. But you can see my lineups. I've been copying some of your lineups. The goal is to get to 6,000 signups by the Super Bowl. And I said I'll take the That's Good Sports guys to the stupid ass Mahomes restaurant in Kansas City. If we do that, I think we're at 125 signups for November so far. So we got to pick up the pace. Anyway, God, I wish I would like to read better. Can I read more? Bring Brian Daboll back. He's from Buffalo. I mean the area, not the team. And Joe Brady ain't cutting it anymore. He's the one who unlocked Josh Allen. Fair. I mean, Joe Brady was a head coaching candidate just a few weeks ago, though, right? See, this is the question. Did Brian Daboll really unlock Josh Allen, or is Josh Allen just Josh Allen, right? I don't know. But I think having a guy that you trust, maybe a guy who's got a different perspective on things now that he's been with New York, and if he wants to come in as a consultant, as we saw formerly fired coaches like Robert Saleh did, he was in Green Bay, right, as a consultant. If Daboll wants to do that, I don't think there's any harm in the Bills bringing Brian Daboll in for that type of role. So they should consider it. Honestly, I think I could call plays for Josh Allen and look pretty freaking smart. He tamed him. I don't know if he tamed him. Maybe he helped Josh Allen, reel in his wild throws, right? If you remember Josh Allen's rookie year and the first year after that, you saw some insane talent, but you saw a guy who just kind of launched the ball over receivers' heads. That's what gives me hope for Bo Nix. But yeah, bring him in. Now, in terms of who the Giants are going to hire, I listened to Ian Rappaport. He mentioned Vance Joseph as a name, Broncos defensive coordinator. I think Vance Joseph is going to get a lot of looks this coaching cycle. He said Matt Nagy as well. I don't. Does that move the needle for you, Giants fans? Matt Nagy? I don't know. I think the best case scenario is Kafka. I think that's the guy you want, but he has to prove he's good. He has to take this same Giants team that Daboll was working with, actually a worse one because, he might be without Dart for a week. But if he can show that this team can close out games in the fourth quarter, If they can just look better with Kafka, I think that's the best case scenario. Because we don't know who the other candidates really are going to be at this point. I mean, the Bills OC was probably the hottest name a few weeks ago. Now it's like who? Who's the OC for the Seahawks? Is that Kubiak? Is that a guy? Oh, Kubiak with the Dart? That might be fun. Is it Clint Kubiak? There's 2 Kubiak kids. Yeah, Clint Kubiak, OC for the Seahawks. That could be one. That could be a guy. Got a father with a lot of head coaching experience. Kind of like that. I saw Belichick. I don't think you want Belichick, guys. I don't think you want Belichick. I don't think you want Gruden. Belichick too old. Gruden hasn't done it for a while. And the last time Gruden was a head coach, he was kind of shitty with the Raiders, mediocre at best, which I guess with the Raiders is kind of impressive. Robert Saleh, that could be interesting. Kingsbury, yeah, offense. I think with Dart, you want an offensive-minded head coach, right? Saleh, I think, didn't get a fair shake. I don't think Saleh wants to go back to New York, though. I know it's the other New York team, but I don't think Saleh wants to go back to New York. I like Clint Kubiak. Getting it done with Sam Darnold. I think that's a good offense for Jaxson Dart. Deion Sanders, oh God. And then what does Deion Sanders do? He trades Jaxson Dart to the Cleveland Browns for his son, Shedeur Sanders. Boom. Clint Kubiak. Yay, I got 1 vote of confidence for Clint Kubiak. Oh, yeah, this was wild. Against the Cowboys, Broncos, and Bears, the Giants had a 92.3% chance, 99.3% chance, and 96.9% chance of winning late in the fourth quarter. Brian Daboll lost all of them. Now, is that Brian Daboll's fault? Or is that I don't even know who the Giants defensive coordinator is right now. Who is your coordinator on? Shane Bowen. Yeah. Maybe that's part of the problem there too. I'm fairly new to football, so I'm a little confused. Giant game collapses were because of their defense. Well, just like you just read my mind. Why has the defensive coordinator not been fired? But the head coaches, I feel like Daboll took the fall here maybe. Yeah, I think none of us really know if Brian Daboll is a good or bad head coach. But a good head coach would be getting, better performances from his defensive coordinator and his, offensive coordinator. So I think you can put that on Daboll. Injuries have been tough. There's a lot of circumstances here that led up to this, but I don't know. I think I don't want to tell Giants fans to be optimistic, but it feels like they found the pieces in this draft. And if they keep losing, they're going to have, another. Well, what did the Giants have their first round draft pick? I know they didn't give away their first. No, they've got right now they've got the 3rd overall pick. They still own their 3rd overall pick. So they're going to get another really good draft piece. They get to pick at 3 and 34 right now. They can address some needs. They can take best player available at 3. They can draft for a need at the top of the 2nd. They don't have a 3rd round pick, but yeah. It's just you got to nail this hiring. And luckily, they might have a legit audition for the guy, which does not happen a lot. Yeah. Okay, that's a little harsh. It's a little harsh. Shane Bowen is staying because canning him would make Mara have to admit that he backed the wrong guy in the Dave's Wink pissing match. Oh, yeah, Wink Martindale. Yeah, they got rid of him. But anyway, I think we talked about it all here. Oh, yeah, Spags. I think Spags is interesting. Was he the Giants DC a while ago? Did he land? Oh, man. Steve. Where were you? Were you in New York for a bit there, Steve? Pretty sure. Yeah. 07 to 08. That was a long time ago. Then he was the Giants DC in 2015 to 17, interim head coach in 2017. Would Spags want to go back to New York? I doubt it. I doubt it. You're going to get Eberflus? Yeah, I don't think Eberflus is getting any looks with the worst defense. One of the worst defenses in Dallas. I am worried for Brian Schottenheimer in the year of the Bryans being fired. What would it take to destroy that evil wheel and end its dark reign of power? My Patriots are particularly begging to get cursed by the wheel into a bizarre primetime loss to the Jets. Well, I'm not going to destroy the wheel. That seems like it would hurt me. I think that would hurt me. I keep the wheel. And if the Patriots survive the wheel, then you know you're really, really good. The Broncos kind of survived the wheel. They won the game, but lost their tan. Oh, yeah, Joe Burrow's coming back, or he's entered his practice window. So he's got 21 days to convince us all that he can come back and play quarterback. I don't know why the Bengals would do that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe here to That's Good Sports. Good luck, New York. I hope you find a good head coach because, honestly, Scattaboo, Dart, Neighbors. Scattaboo and Dart were already fun. You throw Neighbors in there, and that is a fun trio to watch. You know what? Here's how you identify whether Kafka's the guy or not. If Kafka comes in and say Jaxson Dart misses this next week, he's still in concussion protocol. If he has Jameis Winston start the game instead of Russell Wilson, that is step one into knowing that he is a better option for your head coach than Daboll was. How Wilson's starting above Jameis? Don't know. But that'll be your first test. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you guys. Appreciate it. And come back tomorrow morning for winners and losers. Good night and good luck.